Sportsbook at the South Point Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Now, back to Gaughan Racing.
Welcome back to Gaughan Racing. Jeff Motley at Shea Motley and Brendan Gaughan at Shea Gaughan. We're doing Gaughan Racing remotely for the next couple of weeks. Brendan, we're getting into our last segment here, and one thing we love talking about are the group matchups as we head into Texas Motor Speedway this weekend. And, boy, I look at Group A, and why don't you just bet – all right, so let's talk about Group A. Kevin Harvick is plus 150, but then Kyle Busch plus 330 along with Denny Hamlin, and Ryan Blaney plus 345. So what would prevent a gambler – nothing would prevent him, obviously, but would you consider betting all three of the other guys against Harvick?
You could. I mean, you're going to end up on the positive side right there. It's a four-man horse race, and you're getting over plus 300 on each guy. You're going to at least come away with a point, an 0-3 win or a 0-4-5. But you could hedge that real easy. You could do a Kevin Harvick to win the race, and still get the better return where he's plus 300, and then pick, take it down to a three-man horse race and pick one of those guys. And now you're only, you're 50-50 as whether you can win it. So that's definitely that's the biggest disparity we've ever seen in Group A.
I was just blown away when I saw that. And seeing Ryan Blaney bumped up into Group A surprised me a little bit. You a little surprised by that at all?
The way how they mix these groups up sometimes, Jeff. They put Martin Truex this week down into Group B. You got Ryan Blaney up into Group A. It's just how they mix them up. But to me, seeing that Ryan Blaney, I think he deserves to be there some weeks. But Group B to me is fun. You got your two teammates, your two Penske teammates in there. So that's probably why they did it.
Group B, a really, really tight-packed group there with Truex and Logano, the favorites, plus 265, and then Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski at plus 270. Interestingly enough there, Joey Logano is the only one in Group B that actually has a win here, and Logano's win was several years ago. So these guys are all kind of searching for something at Texas.
Yeah, Mark Truex Jr., as good as he's been at mile and a half, Texas has not been one of them. That's the thing you have to look at is how dominant he's been. He's got a second-place finish all the way back in 2017, got a 37th, the 9th, the 12th, the 6th. So definitely not the dominant mile-and-a-half Martin Truex Jr. that we see at other mile-and-a-half racetracks.
Yeah, now we look at Group C, and there's another huge disparity. We've got two clear-cut favorites in Kurt Busch and Eric Almirola plus 210, a big drop-off to Alex Bowman plus 310, and a guy that you and I have talked about a lot already on this show, Erik Jones, coming in at plus 400. Oh, boy, that is a big number. We don't see 400s very often in the group matchups.
No, I was going to pick Erik Jones in the DraftKings top three, but that means he's got to be top three in the field. I can get 400 of him. He's plus 600 there. He's plus 400 in this group matchup. Even though I like Eric Almirola a lot, I like a plus 400 on Erik Jones right there. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I'm sort of with you there. I think we're probably going to find that out here a little bit later when we make our picks. Looking over at Group D, not surprised at all, really, to see Matt Dibenedetto be the favorite there in Group D. I mean, he's really kind of been the class above those other three guys. Jimmy Johnson is plus 275, and then William Byron and Tyler Reddick at plus 280. I would say, as far as that group goes, that's probably a pretty good number on that group. Dibenedetto, to me, is clearly the favorite to win there.
I think that right there is probably the most normalized of all the groups. And I look and say, how the mighty have fallen. Jimmy Johnson back into Group D. He had snuck his way into Group C a couple weeks in a row. Now he's back down to Group D. So I think that's kind of the group that he, don't want to say deserves to be in, but it's about where he's been running. And Dibenedetto being the favorite, I think is the right matchup there too, Jeff. I mean, that's the odds look correct.
Yeah, I kind of agree with those. Now we look over into Group E. And Clint Bowyer is a favorite at plus 220 in Group E. Then we see Christopher Bell plus 250 and Austin Dillon plus 290. And then last week's winner at Kentucky, Cole Custer at plus 325. And, you and I like to talk about momentum. Cole Custer's got to be feeling pretty good about himself.
Yeah, I think the bettors, I think at least the Westgate is looking at that saying, and the bettors aren't betting it. They're saying it was more of a fluke than it was a win. Cole Custer, look, he has not been anywhere near the strongest rookie all season long. So him winning, I think, was definitely one of the bigger upsets we've had in a long time. Clint Boyer is a guy that has been running fairly well. But Christopher Bell, to me, is the guy that's been coming on the strongest lately. So odds look right. That 325 does not entice me enough on Cole Custer. I don't see Lightning 2 weeks in a row.
And our last group, our Ron Flatter group, Group F, and we got Chris Buescher in there again this week. So Chris Buescher in the Ron Flatter Group F. Matt Kenseth is a favorite, plus 220. Ryan Newman, 245. Stenhouse, 290. Buescher, 335. Man, I'll be honest with you, that I don't have any feel for that group whatsoever there.
That is not the typical Group F, except for Chris Buescher is back in it. And honestly, being the dog, that's about how he's been running, Jeff. I mean, Chris Buescher has been an absolute non-thought in most of these races lately, not looking good. Wow, that is definitely a weird group. But Matt Kenseth being the favorite, I agree with most weeks. Just depends on which Matt Kenseth is going to show up this week.
All right, well, now it's getting to that point in the show where we got to a little bit put our money where our mouth is. Let's go. As much as I hate to do this, let's go back and take a look at last week. You know, we were pounding our chests about how well we did at Indianapolis. We did not do so well. I got the only one right, picking Matt Dibenedetto to win his group in Group E, which gave me the minus 1.6. The Isaiah and the pit crew kind of hitching their wagon to Matt Kenseth 2 weeks in a row did not work out very well for them. You tried to pick a couple of race winners, and Kevin Harvick certainly had a chance there with 2 to go leading the race until that final restart. Didn't work out for you too much. So it sounds like you've got another co-host there in the background.
Yeah, apparently my co-host is ready to make her pick. But yeah, you know,
you get to go first.
Week, so I guess I lead off. Yeah,
you get to go first.
Point at me. All right. So
Did I say that loud enough?
Yes, you said it. I heard it in my headset. They heard it in other places. I'm going to jump off the bandwagon first and go into the top 3, and I'm going to give me a little Matty D at plus 800. I think he's running well, and I'm not jumping off the Eric Almirola bandwagon. I'm taking both of those in the top 3. I think they both can do it. Then I'm going to jump over into the groups, and we talked about it. I'm going to take and do Erik Jones in Group C because I think that's a good hedge for me. That I get just as good of a return for him to win Group C as I do the others. Then I'm going to pick 2 head-to-heads. I'm picking Christopher Bell at plus 105 over Jimmie Johnson. I think that is a good return for that. And I'm jumping on the fade Kyle Busch, and I'm going to take Chase Elliott plus 110 over Kyle Busch at minus 130. To me, two good numbers to pass up right there.
All right, and I believe you have got Isaiah's picks and the pit crew.
Yes, I have Isaiah's picks, and he's allowed to pick again because he didn't beat us, so I think we're in no danger here also. Ryan Blaney to win at 11-1 is where he's starting off with. Then he's going to hedge it with the Kyle Busch in Group A at plus 330, like we talked a minute ago. He's going to do Brad Keselowski in Group B at plus 270. He's going to do Jimmie Johnson in Group D at plus 275. And he's doing Ryan Blaney over Denny Hamlin at plus 110.
All righty. And I guess that leaves it to me for the next round of picks. I think, is this the first time all year that I've gotten to pick last? Which picking last means I won last week. So that doesn't happen very often. Okay, my picks for this week. I'm going to go Ryan Blaney with the top 3. Really like Blaney this week. Think he's going to have a strong run. And the rest of my picks, I'm going to go into the groups. Man, I just don't see people beating Kevin Harvick. I didn't really want to pick him to win, but I'm going to go Kevin Harvick to win in Group A. I'm going to go with Chase Elliott to win in Group B. I'm going to go with Erik Jones in Group C. I'm with you, Brendan. That pick there to me, Erik Jones in Group C, that's such a big number against 3 guys that I think we all think he can beat. And I'm going to disagree with you a little bit in Group E. I'm going to go with Cole Custer. I'm going to kind of ride the momentum guy, and I think I'm going to do that really because the number is so high. I think if that number was a little bit lower, I might have stayed away from Cole Custer, but with that high number, I think I'm going to give it a go. So with that, We got a couple minutes left in the show. Just some thoughts about Texas coming up. Normally we run Texas earlier in the spring, and then we run them in the playoffs. But now we're going to be running Texas here on probably a really hot July Texas day, something they're really not used to. They run a lot of night races at Texas and a lot of races in like late March, early April. So do you think that's going to make for a different racetrack this weekend?
I do. I like when they make these races on the hot, slick places. I mean, look, you and I are right here in Vegas, and anytime we get that hotter day, it's tougher to drive on. The bad part is it's tougher for the fans. A hot day race in July in Texas, you and I both know it's going to be hot, going to be humid. So for the fans that they allow there, it's going to be a little warm. But as far as the race goes, I think it's going to put on a great race. I'm hoping that allows for turn one to widen out and give me some of that turn one that I'm hoping to see one day.
Well, and I'm excited about it because I kind of agree with you. I think sometimes we've seen these races on these really, really hot days. I mean, look, we remember the first South Point 400 we ran here in Las Vegas when it was during the day, and the track was really slick, and it made some pretty crazy racing, to say the least.
No, and that's what the fans want is great racing, but we got to balance the great racing with, taking care of the fans. And so right now they're working hard on that, but it's going to be a good race. You and I are both going to be tuned in, and I got nothing else to do, so I'll be watching.
Well, and I think we'll all look forward to seeing the race at Texas. They won't have but so many fans there, but it will be a nice weekend at Texas. And then a very strange thing coming up the very next week. We're going to have a Thursday night race at Kansas Speedway. So that'll